All right, people. Hope everyone's doing well, winning at life, having success, being healthy and happy. First and foremost, always. Bless up to everyone that's going to watch this on playback or live. And yeah, we're going to land it tonight. We're going to land it. We're going to talk about a couple of things. Talk about a couple of major things. And first of all, bless up the I'm all discombobulated right now, but I want to show the badge. Bless up the Union guys. Yeah, bless up the Union guys every single time. You know what happens on Thursday nights. Bless up the Union guys every single time. Big up to them. Bay Ridge, Stagehands, Local One. Let's have it right. They know who they are. All right, so we're going to talk about Vivid Seats, which I promised last week. We're going to talk about Vivid Seats, and we're going to talk about the Bill Maher real time reaction, which was a very good episode. And if we go off the cuff a little bit, we're going to talk about a little bit about OnlyFans, which they got into there, which I've been talking about for months. Yeah, if not over a year at this point. So let's do Bill Maher first, because Vivid Seats is going to be there's going to be some serious landing on the Vivid Seat shit. All right, so real time. First of all, real time started with we got the comp notebook out, the compo. That's what I'm gonna call it. Always take notes. Always do your own research. So the monologue, we got the stock market. It's a lot of jokes about the stock market going down, the economy. It's only been 8 weeks. I'm not a major trader. I'm not a major market player, but I do have stock from my old job. And if you know, the real ones know. So I do keep my finger on the pulse of it just to make sure that I'm not losing. I wouldn't say it's a fortune, but it's not a small amount. And yeah, I'm not going to ruin the jokes. Go check it out. Bill Maher, that was a good. His writers, the thing about Bill Maher is his writers write most of the jokes in the monologue. It's not him. He does more of the new rules and the editorial. The editorial is all him, which we'll get to, which he always lands it. You say what you want about Bill Maher, but he usually speaks the truth and spits facts in his editorial at the end of the show. So yeah, there were some jokes about the stock market, the economy, and how it's tanking, and how Trump promised certain things and it's not delivering within the next 2 months, and they promised a lot of things, which is not being delivered. I wonder why. And yeah, but we don't want to get too political here on the show. That's not what this is about. And the 1v1 was with the governor of Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro. I like him. He's cool. And he brought up something that's been on my mind lately, actually. And it was that there's a polarizing, almost a Sophie's choice about everything, which is you have to resist something or you have to go all out attack on something. So it's like defend and attack. It's like New Order. If anyone remembers the song, the world in motion, defend or attack. Yeah. We got New Order, and then we got some New Order shit going on here. So there's like some kind of false choice between that you always have to be completely resistant of something or completely on the offense of something. So they talked about that. That was good, and he was very proud. He talked about his Jewish heritage and his religion, and how that actually in the state of Pennsylvania, because he shared like Shomer Shabbos, Big Lebowski, shout out, great scene. But shout out all anyone who practices Judaism. Friday night tonight, right now, Shomer Shabbos. You know what I'm saying? Salute. And he said that once he put a video about his Shabbos dinner, um, which I believe it's called a Seder, if I'm not correct. Correct me in the chat or in the comments if I'm wrong. I believe it's called the Seder, Friday night before the Sabbath. And he said when he shared that, other people from all kinds of religions were coming up to him and be like, on Sunday afternoon, I do this with my family. On Saturday, I do this with my family. On this day, I do this. Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's Islam, Catholicism, Christianity, Judaism, or the Eastern religions, the Buddhism, and all that. That they related to him. The way he articulates it is pretty cool. The way they related to him after he shared his, this is what I do with my family, because he has 4 kids. He has a wife and 4 kids. Shapiro, who should have been the vice president candidate instead of Waltz. Democrats made a huge mistake doing that there. But like I said, I don't want to get into the politics because I don't know enough about it. I can't. And then the panel was Samuel Stein and Batya Ungor Sargon. Samuel Stein works for NBC, and Batya is a journalist, but she's a conservative. But she was rocking the Star of David. So yeah, it was an episode heavily, and Bill Maher is also, people forget that even though Bill Maher's name is Irish, he identifies more as Irish Catholic, and that's how he was raised. His mother is Jewish, and it was everyone that appeared on that television screen was Jewish. So, which is interesting considering what's going on in the Middle East and what's happening, or the post agreement, and then now with the new regime, and then the Ukraine Russia stuff. It's all connected. Yeah, but we'll get to that when we get to Vivid Seats. So they were talking about, the panel talked about foreign interventions in from America, so like Team America style, which is why that movie Team America, made by Matt Stone and Trey Parker 21 years ago, it still applies today. That movie is so spot on. It's crazy. That's why they're geniuses. That's why the Book of Mormon is such a good play, which I want to see. But I've been told by sources I appreciate, and I know that they're not just chatting shit, that play was phenomenal. And you can, just by the amount of awards it's winning and the amount of money it's making, you know it's not bullshit. They're great at pointing out the flaws in pop culture. I would say humanity and pop culture, just in generally speaking. So they talked about that. They're talking about Trump wants to bring the manufacturing back to the U.S., which is alienating China, which produces most of that. So anyone who's against, I would say, like Apple, Apple, I'll just call it out. I've used to work for Apple. All Apple products are made in Chinese manufacturing. There's no Apple product is made in America. Zero. Not one. So the fact that Trump, it was in the angle of the tariffs. So their concern, the panel was discussing, their concern is if you alienate China, how is that going to look if they take action on that? I would say, like, once again, I'm no pundit, so I can't comment intelligently on that. But it is a good point. It did make me think, what happens if there's a stalemate between the United States and China, and all of our technology is not only compromised because, let's have it right, they have our information. TikTok is the biggest one. They know who you are. They know what your face looks like. They know where your address is. They know your financial information. They know your personal private information because you've given it to them to have these products to be on these platforms. You voluntarily handed it over. So what is that going to look like if you put tariffs on China to the point where they're like, we're not going to deal, we're not going to trade with the U.S. anymore? I don't know, man. That's a dodgy one. But I'm not going to get into the weeds there. They're talking about private sector versus public sector jobs, where even because the economy looks like it's taking a little bit of a lull, even the public jobs are getting a hit. And then they talked about COVID. That's more of what I can get into. They're saying that, and this is me. I'm this. These are not my. I would say I'm not opining. I'm going by. I'm just reacting to what they were saying. And then I'll give you my own personal thoughts. So they were saying that it's not about being anti-vaccine. It's because it all comes down to, and we were talking about this on the Drex Life as well. It's not that the government was mandating the vaccine. I think, yes, you could argue, was that the right decision or not? I think more people are coming over to the side that it was the wrong decision to force people to do that and to lock them off of their income, the way they make their living, to do that, which was crazy. But I think it was more of a mandate from the pharmaceutical companies in terms of, hey, this is a trial run of us so we can manipulate the population, and we're going to strike while the iron is hot, and we're going to make money off of this. That's more of the angle I lean on. So they were talking about, was it wrong for all these lockdowns and schools were open, and but yes said the same thing. It's like there were children with special needs, there were children with that came from lower income families that needed the education, that needed the meals that were coming from school, that needed, because when you're in school, at least someone is taking care of you. Now you need to go find someone. If you have to go to work, you need to find someone that to take care of your kid. Yeah. So, which she's not, and Bill said it, she's not totally wrong in that. Although I don't fully agree with her in that aspect, but she does raise some good points, where I would also say she's not totally wrong on that. All right, and then we got the editorial. Then we'll move on to Vivid Seats. So the editorial was about sex working. Yeah, I don't need this anymore because we're gonna go on a rant right now. OnlyFans, sex work. We're living in a world right now where not only is this prominent and in the public eye and being propped, if you question it, you're being made to feel like you're an evil person. So if I question the way you make your living, just my opinion, you're such a bad person. Listen, I don't care how anyone makes their money. I think we've talked about this. We talked about this on Drax Life as well. You make your money, you do you. You if you want to support your lifestyle and you do whatever you need to do. I will never come between anyone and their money and their bank account and the cash that they need to live the lifestyle they want to live. Yeah, but I can still exercise my right. Let's have it right. I can still exercise my right to find the way you make your living deplorable. I can still think that, whether you disagree with me or not. Cool, that's fine. You do you. You make the money you need to make, but I can still. And I'm not even coming from a religious point of view, or like a superior, moralistic point of view. I call myself an ex-Catholic. I don't give a I haven't been to church in 25 years, since I was in fucking high school. Since I was at fucking I'll call it out. Since I was at Fordham Preparatory School. Yeah, Bronx, New York. Shout out, big up the X every time. Yeah, shout out to school because I learned a lot. It forged my character, which is good. But I never got into the Jesuit lifestyle. I mean, come on, man, not for me. Pass. And so since I was 18, so not 25, I was exaggerating. 20. Yeah, done. I was done with that lifestyle. Don't care about it. Haven't been to church since I was 18 years old, man. Think about that. I ain't no spring chicken either. It's a long time ago. So I'm not coming from an angle like a high horse of I'm better than you and I'm morally superior to you. I just think it's a good, if you want to make your living and there's people that are making tens of millions of dollars on this. Yeah, and Bill gets into it. Um, However, the umbrage I take is the phrasing of everything. It has to be, okay, you're going to live your life as a content creator, but I want to be called this name. You can't say this about me. You're a bad person if you think this. You should be publicly humiliated if you say that about us. I mean, look at Lily Phillips and what's her name, Bonnie Blue. Well, what are we doing here, dude? What does that say about the world? That I'm not allowed, and it's not just me. I mean, anyone else. I'm not allowed to say I don't think that's the best way to make your money. If that's just how I feel. Now, if you want to do that, big up to you. I support you. You do your thing. You make your money. You support whoever you need to support. All good. You do you. I do me. No problem. Never a problem. That's all you. But like I said, I can still find that lifestyle repulsive. That's just me. That's just me. Now, she has like a $500,000 for, I think it's a Ferrari now or a Lamborghini or some shit like that. So that's crazy. That side of it. So if you want to live that lifestyle, and I believe Corvo has said this in a lot of his just his musings on the Drax life, which I also agree with. Like there's gonna eventually be consequences to this lifestyle, and I think Bill Maher did a good job of illustrating that as well. So that's all I want to say on that piece, because and let's go to Vivid Seats now. So on that piece, that's like, yeah, do your thing. You want to be an adult film star, you want to go on OnlyFans online, but if the same way how I respect you making your living that way, if that's your choice, cool. But I can also have my opinion that I don't want to have anything to do with that as well. And look at the Oscars. That's what he was talking about. And I love Bill Maher's disdain of Hollywood. When people are like, the sex community, the sex worker community, shout out the sex worker community. There's like 3 people that gave speeches that won awards that said that. Cool, all good, but you can't say you're inclusive for everyone, and then if I don't want any part of it, like why are you forcing me to like that lifestyle? I don't get. That's the part I don't get. I have to like it or I'm an evil person. That's the part that doesn't make sense to me. And quite frankly, I find that repulsive. So, do you? All good. I'm not gonna praise it. I'm not gonna have any part of this whatsoever. So we'll put that aside. Now let's talk about what I really want to talk about. Let's talk about Vivid Seats. So as we know, in America, when you go to sports games, the ownership model is more franchise based. So all the tickets are free market. Whoever pays the most for that location and that specific seat is going to sit and watch the game. There's no away fans, there's no home fans, there's no allocations. You have your season ticket holders, but they're usually in a smaller section and they can bring anyone they want. Listen, I've been at the Delta Club many, many times at Madison Square Garden for Rangers games. Hell of an experience. Met a lot of really, really significantly important people there. I'll just leave it at that. So I know that the Delta Club is a fun place to be. No, there's no way you could deny that. Now, in football, it's a different, in global football, I would say, but Vivid Seats is more exclusive to European football, specifically England. The culture is different. It's a blue collar community. It's for the people. A season ticket at West Ham, at Arsenal, at Chelsea, at Manchester United, at Palace, at Bournemouth, at Southampton. A season ticket at Brighton is probably £900, I would say, £1,000, which is like $1,300 US for 19 games. That's not including the cups, because when the cups come in and Europe comes in, there's a lottery and things like that. Or a random drawing. I shouldn't say lottery; it's a random drawing. Or you get the like first dibs. You get the right of first refusal. You can buy the seat for that price for that game in Europe or in the FA Cup, right? We're talking like in and around £1,000. And Tottenham, a team that hasn't won, Spursy, a team that hasn't won shit for 17 years, going on now, 17 years. I think we passed the 17 years mark. February 2008 is their last trophy. They have the second most expensive season ticket in all of Europe. Yeah, you heard that correctly. I think it's like £1,600 or something like that, which is like $2,000 US, $2,000 USD for a season ticket. The Chelsea Liverpool game at the end of the season is on this platform called Vivid Seats, which I'll explain. $18,000 for one game. How does it go for $2,000 for 19 games to $18,000 for one game? I'll tell you why. Here's why. Here's where Blueco comes in. The owners of the Dodgers and Chelsea Football Club in Strasbourg, like we said last week. Kroenke Sports and Entertainment, Fenway Sports Group, who own Liverpool. Kroenke KSC owns Arsenal. And all these American private equity firms. I'm missing a big one too. Yeah, Clear Lake, and Enoch with Daniel Levy, a part of it as well. They're all, and West Ham. West Ham is a part of this as well. So basically, the London teams and the big teams around the country of England. There's a platform owned by Todd Bowley. So Todd Bowley is a co-founder of. So try to follow me here. Todd Bowley is the co-founder of a company called Blueco, which is a sports conglomerate. Yeah, but he's also owns a private equity firm called Eldridge. So he's in American finance. Eldridge is the major stockholder and the major I'm not stockholder. The correct term is shareholder in Vivid Seats. So Vivid Seats is a platform like Ticketmaster, like Game Time, which is a third-party ticket distributor to people that don't have the tickets that want to go to the game. Yeah, shout out Ahmed in the chat. Yeah, he's right. Exactly. We're gonna get into it's gonna get crazy. The Club World Cup is already wild. Yeah, we're gonna have. Yeah, you think he says you think the tickets are bad now? Wait until these Primo World Cup USA Ticketmaster Platinum Mega Ultra Deluxe tickets. Yeah, it's gonna. Right now, look at the Emmett will know this. Look at the price to go to the World Cup or the Club World Cup final right now, which is at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. I think it's $53,000. $53,000, you know. All right, so let me get back to the origin story. Eldridge, who's Todd Bowley is the co-founder of, also with Blueco, with this guy called Mark Walters, I believe is his name. They own the Dodgers. They're in Eldridge Finance. They're the part owners of Chelsea with Clear Lake Capital and Strasbourg in France. There's a platform with a third-party platform called Vivid Seats. So they're taking the tickets that the season ticket holders don't want to use anymore. Because in England, if you don't want to use your season ticket, if you can't make the game or you want to give it away, it has to be someone that's verified. So when you scan your ticket in England to go to, let's say, Stamford Bridge, Emirates Stadium, yeah, you got to show your ID with your season ticket. It's not like America. I can't just put my ticket online and whoever's the highest bidder gets it. It has to be someone that's attached with the owner of that ticket. What Vivid Seats is doing is they're buying the ticket from the season ticket holders, and then they're selling it to tourists for 600% more than it should be sold for. So let's say Eldridge and Todd Bowley and Vivid. So, I'll show you. I'll fucking show you. We're gonna look up Vivid Seats. So they'll take the ticket from the season ticket holder for one game, for one match, which should be around like £50, and they'll sell it to a tourist that's in London. I was like, oh, I want to see Chelsea. I'm in London for like $800, and they just take all the profit. So now what they're trying to do is they're trying to gobble up all the tickets, and they're pricing out the real blue collar, the real fans, and that's why the atmosphere at all of these games in England, which I've heard at Anfield yesterday, or what's today? No, Tuesday, excuse me, when PSG came to Anfield, the atmosphere is dead. The PSG fans are marching, singing. There's flares going off, and then all the Liverpool fans are just sitting on their hands, no singing, no chanting, no flag waving, except the real ultras, which are in the cup. And then they wonder why there's the atmosphere. It's the same thing as Madison Square Garden. They wonder why the atmosphere is dead at all these stadiums. It's because there's no fans there. It's just tourists and rich people and empty suits and boxes. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, no, yeah, Carragher's too busy spitting on children, was he? Again? Yeah, Emmett says the Liverpool atmosphere was down to the fact that the fans had to sit next to Jed. That's funny. Yeah, if anyone doesn't know, there's a video of him spitting on children, which no one talks about. Like, that got swept right under the rug. How the fuck is he on NBC? Or not NBC, excuse me, CBS, after all of that, with Micah Richards just laughing it up, and Thierry Henry and Kate. I don't even know what her last name is now. She's married again. It's one of them ones for Henry. Imagine working with the old ex. That's a tough one. That's a tough loss. I love Henry. He's my baller legend. Yeah, statue outside the stadium with the knee slide. Let's have it right. But whoo, that's a tough look for him. All right, so let's look up Vivid Seats. I'll show you the board members. So yeah, so that's what they're doing, and it's not just Chelsea. I'm not singling out Chelsea. It's Arsenal's involved, Liverpool's involved, United is involved, West Ham is involved. All of them. Anyone who has a private equity, Wall Street, hedge fund, American owner is involved in this shit. That's the problem. That's the problem with football. It's a little bit of the players being divas, and they all want to be celebrities, and I've gone through this on this channel. They want to be celebrities, and it doesn't matter if you win or lose. No one wants to win trophies anymore. They just want to have their own clothing line. It's a modeling agency. It's a catwalk. It's that's what they want. They just want a television show, a shoe deal, a shitload of money. They want the bag, and they don't give a fuck if they win or not. And then you have the fans who feed into this because they rather have the cool, fashionable player than win trophies. The Arsenal fans said they would rather have Bukayo Saka than win trophies. They would rather go trophyless for 5 years and have Bukayo Saka than win trophies, than win 5 straight Premier Leagues. How tapped are you to say that? And they said it on camera, and there was more than one. There's like 6 of them coming out of the Emirates saying that, no, I don't want to win the Premier League if it means we have to get rid of Bukayo Saka. The fuck are you on about? That's mental that you're saying shit like that. But that's the way sports is now. And then you have the American private equity firms that are running the PR and taking the piss out of all those fans that believe that way because they know the fans are tapped. So they're like, oh, we just want tourists. We want tourists that'll pay $18,000 for a seat, that'll go in the club shop, do another $2,000 buying merch, pay $15 for a burger that's this big and this absolutely disgusting. There's a Twitter account that goes to every football ground. That's a good follow, actually. I forgot the name, or I would shout them out. They they go to every ground all around England and they take pictures of the food at the concourse of the ground, and then they post it. It's like, this costs £19. £19 for a slider, for a frozen slider. Pretty soon we're going to see cheerleaders, we're going to see t-shirt cannons, we're going to see halftime concerts that are an hour long. We're going to see like some idiot go on the field and try to score from the halfway line. That's it. They're going to turn it into just a spectacle. It's winning. The result of the game doesn't matter. It's just a spectacle. It's like the Super Bowl. Who in the stadium at the Super Bowl cares about the actual result of the game? 10% of the people that are there. Everyone else is there for jolly up. It's a social gathering for them. And they could take pictures of themselves and say, oh, yeah, I'm at the game. Everyone be jealous of me. Look how cool I am. I'm at the Super Bowl. Yeah, fuck off, man. It's just, the Madison Square Garden is the worst offender, I swear down. The worst offender of that. There's no... How many real Knicks fans or Rangers fans are at the game? I can tell you because I've been there. Probably the capacity is 18,000, 19,000. It's probably like 3,000 real fans. Everyone else is an empty suit, an influencer, a celebrity, or someone or a tourist that's there that just wants to go to a game at Madison Square Garden. Now I'm winding myself up. I'm getting off track. Let's get back to Vivid Seats. Here. So Vivid Seats, Eldridge, who I know for a fact, but I'll leave them anonymous. I know for a fact Eldridge is a major shareholder invested in Vivid Seats. And Eldridge is Todd Bowley's company. Todd Bowley with Mark Walters have Blue Co., which is the sports conglomerate. And then they joined a consortium with Weiss and Clear Lake Capital to buy. Yeah, so you see how the spider web comes. So they're all connected. And they're charging astronomical prices and pricing out the real fans of all these football clubs all around Europe, because they're doing it in France too with Strasbourg. Pretty soon, FSG is going to get in. They're already semi-involved, but pretty soon, the Cronkies will be involved fully, like even more than they are. I think they're just dipping their toe in the water right now, according to what I know. Then you're going to have, I think Everton just got taken over by American owners. Once the Premier League gets fully taken over by American private equity, I think they're only 4 clubs away, because I think you need to get to 14. You can correct me, Emmett, in the chat if you're right. I believe you need to get to 14 because then you have the voting rights when they do rules changes. There's like 14. You got to have a majority of 14. I think that's the rule. And I just got a message. Yeah, so then we're gonna see cheerleaders on the field. We're gonna see fireworks shows. It's over. It's done. It's gonna become the Super Bowl. So this we need to expose this. I'm not the first one who's done it. People like there's other channels, fan channels based out of the UK that have tried to call this out, but it always gets demonetized and swept under the rug. And this is what you need to do is there has to be some kind of a backlash. There needs to be a protest like what United did during COVID for the Super League, and which got the Liverpool United game called off. You need to get to that level. I'm not advocating violence. I'm not advocating vandalizing anything. Of course, no. But there needs to be a strong, peaceful protest. But the numbers have to be large. There has to be a strong protest, because if you let this continue, it's just going to become the Super League. And then football, there's going to be no promotion. There's going to be no relegation. Football is going to be buried, dead and buried, done. And Vivid Seats is the start of that. They're already doing it. They've already done it with the PR and the marketing. Notice how Arsenal drop every 3 weeks. There's new merchandise. There's a new tracksuit. There's a new cap. There's new boots. There's new shorts. There's new training wear. Every 3 weeks, there's a new kit. And then how many kits have we worn this year? Like 7. There's an all white one. There's a Caribbean one. There's one that's celebrating this. I believe it's around 7 different kits one season. Yeah, and I bet you the last game of the season there's going to be another one. What are we doing here? Yeah, Emmett said, yeah, you're right. Exactly. So once they get the majority, once the hedge funds and the firm and the American private equity firms get the majority voting rights in the FA is not bothered because that brings in the money. Then we're going to see games. Then you're going to see Premier League games in New York City, in Miami, in LA. Yeah, that's the future. That's what's going to happen. You're going to see legit. What if the title is on the line and it's Manchester City against United? It's what if the Manchester Derby is in New York City? That's what they want. And we're getting to that level. But look at the preseason. NBC's promoting the summer series or whatever that bullshit is. All these teams are coming to America. You best believe Arsenal's coming back to America again. Yeah. That's wild, dude. Every preseason is in fucking America. Listen, they're doing it, and then they charge for a preseason game. Against an MLS team, they'll charge $500 for a seat. It's fucking crazy, dude. And then the people just lap it up because they exploit the fans. And it's all these terrible decisions are down to the fact that the FA is terrified of the Super League. Yep. And are willing to give the clubs anything they want as long as it generates revenue. Facts. Big, pure facts right there. So the game, it's become, and I'm sure Emmett would agree with this, it's become, they're trying to Americanize the model where they're trying to devalue the worth of winning and building a good squad and connecting with the fans as a community. And everyone is just a number on a spreadsheet. They want to turn football into the NBA, into the NFL, into Major League Baseball, into the National Hockey League, which what I would give credit to Gary Bettman and the NHL for is they were the last league to bend the knee to the pound note, to the almighty dollar. They were the last one to do it. They held on, but now that hockey's exploding in popularity, which is off the back of that Nations League, wait until the Olympics happen. Wait until there's the best on best in the Olympics in Milano next year. Watch what happens with the NHL after that. They're gonna jump the shark too, just like baseball, football, American football, and the NBA. Yeah, the communities for the poors. Exactly. But that's the bloodline of the sport. Emmett is a Leicester fan. The Leicester City, first of all, let's have it right. City is not Man City. Anyone who says City is Man City, you don't know where you're talking about. That's Leicester City. Leicester City is the real city. Yeah. And the backbone of the entire club is always the fans. It's always the people. It's always the community. That's how English football, uh, that's why it became world famous, because it is working class. It is hardworking. It is for the union guys and girls. It's for the people. That's the best way I could describe it. It's like just like The Rock. Football was the people's sport. Now it ain't for the people. It's for the clowns upstairs, so they can milk everyone for money. And we're letting it happen. That's the disappointing thing I find with the fans, because the players don't have a connection with the fans anymore either. They're making money. It's a paycheck for them. They're employees. It's a job to them. Whereas back in the day, yeah, the corporate rock. Remember, with the no shirt and the blazer? Yeah, facts too. And uh, I remember when Dude Love was corporate too. Now we should talk about SmackDown a little bit. It was in Barcelona. SmackDown was in Europe earlier today, but it came on replay for the American viewers. Yeah, the Trish and Charlotte had a battle there. Orton, who did Orton beat? Oh, Carmelo Hayes. Yeah. That was a decent SmackDown. But the fans, speaking of the fans in Barcelona, that was a hotter crowd in WWE than I've ever seen in America in a long time. Maybe outside of Chicago, when CM Punk came back and when Elimination Chamber was in Chicago. That crowd was hot. So the crowd in Montreal, when they were in Montreal, was hot too. Axiom was the hero. If I was a Spanish fan, I'd be asking for a refund. The Axiom. Yeah. Those tickets were probably insane money too. Triple H, man. And Stephanie always says she's not involved. Stephanie's definitely still involved, man. I know. Stephanie's still involved. We will prove that on a later episode, because that'll take more. But I wanted to pull up the. Yeah, let's go to Vivid Seats. Let's land it on Vivid Seats, and then we'll wrap it up. So yeah, like Emmett, so Emmett he's from England. What do you think is the future of, like, not just the Premier League, but the English football pyramid entirely? What's the future there? Yeah, Vivid Seats. Let's look at these motherfuckers. Notice how they make it so hard to find it. Oh, Beyonce tickets on Vivid Seats. Kendrick Lamar. Wow. Look at this shit. Condor Price. I have no fucking idea what that is. They have Lakers tickets. See, they're even these guys, man. These fucking guys. USD. Oh, there will be no pyramid, only Premier League. Yeah. And then so it's like an MLB model where they'll be the main team and everyone else is just like a subdivision of the main club. Yeah, that's probably right. They Yeah, I gotta these fucking guys. They make it so hard to find. I should have had this prepared. Yeah, board of directors. Here we go. Look, I got it right here. Yeah, look at. Let's lower that brightness. Yeah, who's the board of director? Yeah, who? What name is that? Who is that? Who's the director of Vivid Seats? Yeah. Yep. Right on the website. I gotta clean this fucking case, man. The 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 thumb marks are crazy. Eldridge, and then let's go to Eldridge. Equity. Let's see who's on that. Yeah, I'm not chatting shit, dude. Get out of here. People. Yep. Founder of Eldridge. Look who the fuck it is. Yeah, no, Emmett, you're right. That they're they were buying up. They were just like hungry hippo. They were buying up season tickets because the the proper Chels were pissed off and they were giving up their tickets, and Vivid took them and sold them for like £1,500. And the Liverpool game, because the Liverpool game is they could possibly get the Guard of Honor and lift the trophy that against Chelsea. $18,000 is the ticket to see Liverpool lift the Premier League trophy. Are you fucking mad? Crazy, dude. Yeah, there's the guy. And there he is. It's not just him though. I'm not singling out Bully. It's fucking Ekbali, Feliciano, it's Clear Lake, it's Stan and Josh Kroenke. Even though Stan, I exposed that earlier, Stan doesn't do anything with Arsenal anymore. It's Josh and it's Arteta that have the problem. But now that we got the new guy from Atletico, I don't think Arteta, if I don't think he'd last past like November. If we don't get off to a hot start next year, and I'm talking about if we lose or draw one or two games in the beginning of next season, he's getting sacked. He's gone. I want Simeone. I want Simeone or Inzaghi. That's who I want. So the Arteta knows who he's on. He's on fraud watch right now. He's been on fraud watch. I've been saying it for years. The only thing that Arteta took us from is we used to capitulate in February. Remember the Eduardo leg break, the Robin van Persie fucking double yellow, which was bullshit against Barcelona. That was a bullshit call. I'll give him they were crazy. We used to capitulate in February. Now we capitulate in April instead. But this year, funny enough, we capitulated. He took us backwards. We capitulated in February again. He just took us back to where we were when the Wenger era. I was this close to being done. They sacked Wenger. And Unai, what phase is Unai Emery in? What phase is he in? Quarterfinals of the Champions League, fighting for top four with Aston Villa. I think they're still in the FA Cup. I believe they are. Arteta, phase 5 Arteta, no trophies. Yeah, Lego head. Exactly. He's just for men. Not sure if it's used for food. Yeah, I know. That's why his nickname is Lego Head. Oh, but there's a banner Amit at the Emirates called the best looking Spaniard we know. It's hanging, I believe, at the North Bank. Not the clock end, the North Bank. The best looking Spaniard we know. Why the fuck doesn't matter what he looks like, dude? I'll take George Graham. I'll take 1-0 George Graham, 1-0 to the Arsenal. That's where it came from. We're winning trophies. And now it's all about we have a dog at the training ground. Win. He had the audacity to call the dog Win. We're going to Dubai. He's getting fucking what's his name? The Salt Bay guy just putting meat in his mouth. Pause. What are we doing here, dude? What the fuck is going on at this football club? We got fucking Polly, we got fucking Zinchenko. We have like 17 left backs who all are not good enough. It's just crazy shit, man. And then they're propping up players like fucking Odegaard, who's there's a reason Real Madrid didn't want him. I'm not saying he's a bad player. He's decent. Yeah. Emin are fucking against PSV. Yeah. The attacking trident was Kieran Tierney. So we had a left back at left wing. We have a defensive midfielder as our striker. And we have Raheem Sterling, who's not just washed, he's power washed. Raheem Sterling is finished as an elite level footballer. He might as well go to MLS. That's where he should go because he can make the same amount of money. He can't play. I don't even think he's championship level anymore. Raheem Sterling, Marino, and Kieran Tierney. That was the strike. That was the trident against PSV on Wednesday. What the fuck is going on? Yeah, well, yeah, phase is different, dude. Phase is just embarrassing. The fact that you have the fact that you have the Faze and Vestergaard as the center backs in trying to play a season in the Premier League. That's just it's funny. You just gotta laugh. You just gotta fucking laugh. Yeah, exactly. Sterling, Faze pocketed Sterling. Guy is done. Finished. The two that name me a worse center back pairing in the history of the 32-year history of the Premier League than Faze and Vestergaard. I don't think you can. I think even who was Derby County's center back pairing when they had the lowest point total? I don't even remember. But that's a good trivia question. I beg that their stats are better than Faze or Vestergaard. I beg. It probably is. But yeah, all right. So we expose Vivid Seats. So Vivid Seats is. But my last message before we sign off is there's still time to stop it. We still have. I'm gonna end on a positive note. You can still stop this, but you got to get serious about it. You can't drink the Kool-Aid. You can't buy all the PR and just consume everything the clubs send out. There's still time to prevent basically private American equity from taking over European football. There's still time. Yeah. Once they get once they buy those 4 other clubs, it's done. There's still time. So, all right, we're gonna close out on an hour. Big up Amit. There was someone else in the chat. There was 2 people watching. I don't know who it was. Maybe Amit does. Maybe it was Corvo or Joe. I think you're with Joe though. Yeah, plus could get in the chat, man. I love it. Ahmed, I'll read out Ahmed's last comment. We have the worst defense and team in the history of the Premier League. Yeah, all right, yeah, the Derby thing. Yeah, they are worse. That might be the worst center back pairing that's ever played a Premier League game. That's not even an exaggeration. All right, but yeah. So salute everyone. Thanks you for tuning in. Viviseats out. Clear Lake out. Cronky's out. Fenway Sports Group out. Glazers out. That's what I forgot to mention them. Oh, one of the biggest offenders. Glazers out. They fooled everyone saying they try to sell to Ineos and Ratcliffe. They still have full control. Ineos and Ratcliffe have only I believe it's 25%. Glazers out. Get them out. Let's save football. Yeah. And for me personally, I hope this new sporting director, we need to fix up. I would sell Martinelli. Partey's gone. We're not re-signing him. I would sell Saliba if Madrid want to pay 100 and plus for him, sell him. Because his head's already gone. Martinelli gone. Jesus, I don't think anyone will buy him, but find a way to get rid of him. Terminate his contract. At this point, just terminate his contract. He has no knee ligaments anymore. Odegaard, I would also try to sell Odegaard. Real talk. Because I think Havertz, this is going to be a hot take. I think if you put Havertz in Odegaard's role, Havertz is a better version of that. Because I know Arteta likes to play with that right. He calls it a right unit, which is a little zesty. But Saka, Havertz, and Timber with that right side triangle that he likes in his tactics, Havertz is better than Odegaard in that role because he has the same tech and Havertz can actually shoot and he can actually ghost into the box and head it. When was the last time you've seen Martin Odegaard head the ball on goal? Even if it went wide. I don't think I've seen it for 3 years. He does headers in the midfield off of goal kicks. When's the last time you see Martin Odegaard head a ball like an attacking header? I don't think I've ever seen it at Arsenal. At least Havertz he has good movement. He'll ghost in like that, like Frankie Lampard style. Super Frank. Put Havertz in that role and get rid of Odegaard. And we need another left winger. And we need, for the love of fucking God, we need a striker. Fuck's sake. And we need someone that can take some pressure off of Saka where he can actually have a game off. Because I'm afraid we might be on a Michael Owen situation where dude his hamstring tore off the bone. Dude, that's going to be hard to come back from. Don't bring him back this year. We're done. Unless we're playing in the Champions League final, which is a fucking pipe dream, because there's ain't no way in hell, no chance in hell Vince McMahon we're beating Real Madrid. Ain't happening, dude. All these deluded top gooners. Nah. I'm telling you right now, ain't gonna happen. Don't bring him back this year. Just let him July. Let him go back during preseason. All right, we're out. Bless up everyone. The couple people that joined. I wonder who that second person was. I don't know. All right, but salute. We're back next week, and I hope everyone has have a good rest of your weekend. We're out. Peace.